What is good, Cardi people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalam, smoking on that Spaceghostpurrp pack after he dissed Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi Vert. And we gotta protect Cardi at all costs because it looks like it's getting pretty serious. Now, I don't think Spaceghostpurrp's actually gonna do anything because dude's probably methed out on freaking melatonin or that kryptonite, but still, I don't want to take any chances, especially because we're on the brink of a whole lot of red finally dropping. And if Cardi goes away before that, I don't know if they're gonna drop it posthumously after what he just tweeted saying, "Love me now when I'm not dead." But without further ado, Playboi Carti dissed again, and even Lil Uzi Vert. Let's talk about it. Okay, so just to give a little background, as always in these videos, a couple days ago, Playboi Carti officially began the Cardi season, baby, and we getting a whole lot of red soon, especially with Richie Souffle giving us some hints on his Instagram story, even though he claimed that he's liking every single tweet and whatever, but he said it's time, okay, so it's time to go, and we got that long time 2 snippet. The whole world is at peace, there are no riots anymore, even the coronavirus is getting ready for a whole lot of red, even Biden wants that red wave coming. And this ultimately all started because Cardi has just been way more active on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram. He's posting snippets himself. We don't need no affiliates coming through with some like super LQ screen recording from the back of the club recorded on their trap phone. But more importantly, recently in all of these new showcases of his new look, he's been showing off his relatively new vampire image from the last couple years, because that's actually how long we've been waiting for this album, including red hair, black gothic attire. You know, he's wearing that fishnet hoodie or whatever that is in all of the new recordings. Dude must have COVID and a high fever because it's cold outside and he's wearing a fishnet with all them holes in it. But then again, dude is the hottest thing out on the internet right now, so maybe that's keeping him warm. But in addition, he's also posted some somewhat sus videos, posting like dude is applying to be America's top model, you know, with like the sideways poses and showing off his upside down cross earrings and giving us them Lana Road eyes, until I guess finally Spaceghostpurrp, not to be confused with Smokepurrp, I know a lot of y'all are gonna think that because you don't know who this dude is, was not having it whatsoever, and he disses Playboi Carti last night on his Instagram stories, and actually Lil Uzi Vert too, but we'll get into that a little bit later. For right now, I wanted to get into a little bit of bio from Spaceghostpurrp, aka SGP, in that he's a South Florida rapper legend and the founder of Raider Clan rap collective that influenced a lot of the movements today, such as Members Only, ASAP Mob, wink wink, because that'll come into handy a little bit later. And if you don't know who Raider Clan is, it includes rappers like Denzel Curry, Rob Banks, Chris Travis, Young Simi, and Xavier Wolf. And of course, Spaceghostpurrp. And Spaceghostpurrp himself has even produced for Lil Uzi Vert, Wiz Khalifa, a lot of the ASAP Mob, including ASAP Rocky for a few songs actually, Lil Tracy, and the list goes on. Now, without getting too much into detail, Spaceghostpurrp and Raider Clan got into a little beef with ASAP Rocky and the ASAP Mob as a whole, and it still somewhat continues today, even though it's, you know, apparently been resolved before ASAP Yams passed away, from fans of Raider Clan claiming that the ASAP Mob jacked their whole swag, which they were definitely influenced by, but jacked, I don't know, that's not really my job to say, especially because I don't know too much about these people. And I know all this information seems a little bit insignificant, but it's all necessary, so bear with me throughout the video. But to continue, Raider Clan specifically had an all-black aesthetic with cryptic hieroglyphic messages within branding, using horror style fonts, and referred to themselves as vampires throughout the years that they were active. See where I'm going with this? Seems a lot like Playboi Carti right now. But now onto the diss, wherein Spaceghostpurrp last night, as mentioned before, disses Playboi Carti on his Instagram story a few times on his account at Spaceghostpurrp Miami, and that's how you know dude's an old head, because he's got an underscore Miami in his Instagram tag. Like, why can't you just be Spaceghostpurrp? No wonder this dude only has 5K followers on Instagram, bro. If he was smart, he just dropped the Miami, and I could barely find this dude's account, to be honest. But the disses included 4 stories, as I think I just mentioned, wherein he called Cardi gay and gonna end him, possibly his life. He's throwing shade at him and Uzi for wanting to be in YSL so bad, among a few other things of just jacking his swag and Young Thug swag and all that. But to get into the actual disses explicitly, he stated, "Finna end gay boy Cardi right now. It's over for him. Rest in piss." So this is the mention of ending Playboi Carti's life and how we have to protect him at all costs if we want a whole lot of red. But not even just that, but just being a fellow human and not wanting anyone to pass away. Like, we've lost too many rappers this year. King Von, Juice WRLD, I guess he was last year, but the list goes on, like Mo 3. Why does dude even have to threaten him so hard over his sexuality? And he's not even gay. They thought he was gay. Seems like a little bit of clout chasing right now, just trying to get some clout, which I'll give him, but I think his time has passed, so it doesn't even matter. Nobody's going back to listen to his music after dissing Playboi Carti. Actually, not gonna lie, I listened to one of his songs and it was trash. But continuing, he says Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi Vert want to be in YSL so bad, which doesn't make sense to me because you know, all of them are cool. I'm talking about like Young Thug, Uzi, and Cardi. Like, they've all worked together in different combos, even recently. Like, Young Thug was on Die Lit. Uzi and Young Thug have worked together a lot. I mean, they've even sucked on each other's chains, possibly dicks too. And I'm pretty sure Thug considers Cardi and Uzi YSL affiliated anyway. Like, they don't need to be signed to his actual label, Young Stoner Life Records, like Gunna and Lil Keed. Lil Baby's part of QC technically, and he's definitely part of YSL affiliation, doing a whole collab tape with Gunna and possibly a second one, Drip Harder 2. So Spaceghostpurrp honestly just needs to pick a diss though. Like, if Cardi wants to be YSL, he's a slimy snake. He's not a vampire, so he's not jacking your swag anymore. Young Thug's not trying to be a vampire, he's trying to be fucking Voldemort or whoever else turns into a snake. Tom Riddle. Which brings me to the next set of disses under the comments of Playboi Carti's last snippet that he posted on Instagram, in which Spaceghostpurrp pretty much just reposts his own comments on his Instagram story just to give it a little bit more publicity, because I guess the comments didn't get as much exposure as he wanted to. Nobody liked it, or at least not as many as he wanted. And he comments on that Long Time 2 snippet, which is fire, by the way. Like, that got me hyped for a whole lot of red. But he's claiming Carti trying to be him by calling himself a vampire, explicitly stating, "Bruh, you not in my crew. Why is you calling yourself a vamp? Stop being lame and stop trying to be me, you whack." And I just want to say, the fact that Spaceghostpurrp currently only got 5K followers, as we talked about a little bit before on Instagram, should show his influence at the moment. I'm not saying his and Raider Clan style didn't influence anybody, because it definitely did to Playboi Carti and ASAP members, and they would probably admit it themselves. But like, Carti got hella millions of followers. Like, he don't need to be looking at a 5K follower dude for influence on his style and all that. Plus, Carti's like a different breed of vampire. Those dudes were grimy. I'm talking about like the Raider Clan, not in a bad way, but they were like the tough vampires, where Carti's like he's the model vampire, fucking Edward in the Twilight or whatever that book was, all chiseled and clean. Like, he don't even suck no blood from peasants. He be sucking the high class bisexuals like Jeff Bezos' son. You gotta have the net worth in the billions to get Carti to suck your blood. And by the way, I just want to mention that Carti is signed to AUG, which is ASAP's label, so already there's bad blood from the beef that we mentioned a little bit earlier in ASAP Mob Jack and the Raider Clan's flow. So that could play a huge part in why Spaceghostpurrp is specifically mad at Playboi Carti, even though I think Playboi Carti started popping long after Raider Clan had already broken up. Also, vampires have been used throughout music history. Like, again, I'm not discrediting Spaceghostpurrp for making it cool, but it's not completely original. Like, I'm pretty sure all the Kiss band members back in the day were vampires. Marilyn Manson, who heavily influences Uzi, was a vampire. Even they both have songs and albums based upon the vampire aesthetic and imagery. But the list goes on with people in the past and music artists specifically that have used the vampire aesthetic. And lastly, Spaceghostpurrp reposts another comment claiming Carti want to be like Lil Keed, Thug, and his Raider Clan homies regarding sound and aesthetic likely, wherein he states explicitly, "You want to be me and Young Thug and Lil Keed and Lil Got It and Vamp Leak and all Cray Too Sick and all my bros so bad, no damn you like it up yo ass." So again, calling Playboi Carti gay, but he's not. He has a son with Iggy Azalea. And I know people can have kids and still be gay. It happens, people. Not sure how it happens, but I guess they don't come out of the closet or figure it out until they have that child and they realize, like, damn, I like ass more than titties. Men's asses, that is. But as I said before, dude's gotta pick a side. If he wanted to be Young Thug is fucking Voldemort. He's not a vampire. And I'm not gonna lie, Playboi Carti is definitely influenced by Young Thug, but to be honest, the whole new rap generation is guilty of that as well. Even Lil Uzi Vert, obviously Lil Keed, because he's a clone of him, not in a bad way. Gunna obviously got his flow from Young Thug and learned a lot from him. And Playboi Carti's baby voice, like Atman, Pain 1993, was definitely inspired by Young Thug. But the new flow from the new snippets he's been posting lately with Kanye West, you know, the harder one that was on IG Live, and then Long Time 2, you know, maybe that's kind of his own thing, but probably still inspired by Young Thug. But Young Thug was inspired by somebody too. We all are. So it's not a bad thing to be influenced by another person. I don't know why all these people tripping, thinking that they completely original. Nobody is completely original. And just because he's a vampire doesn't mean he derived his image and aesthetic from your homie, quote, vamp leak. Well, actually, considering how many leaks Cardi suffers on a weekly basis, maybe he was. But all in all, SGP honestly just fell off for a while since popping off around like 2010. He been smoking too much Spaceghostpurrp, aka crack or meth that he poured purple lean on top of, and he's just acting like an old head that couldn't adapt to the new era in technology / social media. If he was all that influential and savvy, he'd still be popping, but no, numbers ain't lying. Dude only has like 77,000 monthly listeners. And again, I just want to point out, Spaceghostpurrp and Raider Clan definitely influenced a lot, especially with like the whole rap collective concept, but that does not give him the right to diss Playboi Carti, who had nothing to do with this, especially because Cardi just does not give a fuck about Spaceghostpurrp. So with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off, sucking off Playboi Carti, pause, talking about his blood. People, don't at me. I'm just trying to become a vampire, okay? But let me know in the comments if you think Spaceghostpurrp was justified in dissing Playboi Carti, or do you think he's just clout chasing like I do? Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it for the latest hip-hop news, drama, and analysis videos, as well as follow me on all my socials in the description. Join the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, credit people. You know what I'm saying?